Hi, this is Brian David Marshall coming to you from the Tournament Center at Pro Tour Austin. I'm here with Lucas Siow. You may recall I interviewed Lucas after he won a New Jersey PTQ a couple weeks back, right?
Yeah, it was end of August.
Yeah. Lucas is coming off of a top 32 finish in Kyoto this year.
33rd, but
33rd, just missed top 32.
Yeah.
A couple strong finishes at GPs, and you were one of 10 undefeated players at the end of 5 rounds of Extended on day 1 of Pro Tour Austin.
That's pretty good company to be in.
So tell us a little bit about this deck you're playing. This deck seems crazy. It was really one of the more stressful decks for me to lay out for one of these because there's so many 1-ofs, 2-ofs. So, tell me what it is.
So it started out as a Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meek combo deck. And I mean, that's just a really simple combo where when you sack Sword of the Meek to Thopter Foundry, you get a 1/1, the sword comes back, and you can just keep doing that. And you can, every mana basically turns into a 1/1 and a life. Then when Zendikar got spoiled, the fetch lands made it easy to go 3 colors, and also, obviously, the Vampire Hexmage Dark Depths combo was created. So I decided that I would graph them. The idea being that if you could go for either combo against an opponent who maybe post-sideboard had prepared for one but not the other, or who just happened to draw hate for one and not the other. So I thought it'd be a really versatile way to win. And some combos are better against certain types of decks. You know, like the artifact-based combo is much better against Permission, because once you get Academy Ruins, there's no more Riptide Lab. You just keep putting Thopter Foundry on top and just over and over again, and eventually it's going to stick. And you know, fairies can't really beat these horde of 1/1s, ironically enough. So that was the idea. The sweet part is Muddle happens to be convenient in that it tutors for Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek, and Hexmage. So it got a lot of the pieces and life from the Loam for that matter. So I just thought that when I was kind of going through decks and putting things together, that it seemed like it might be a perfect storm kind of opportunities to play cards that were really synergistic together.
And really at its heart, this is a Gifts deck.
Right. I mean, so originally the engine I was playing was Thirst and Trinket Mages when I just had the Thopter Foundries kind of around, and I had like a Chalice package and all the standard, you know, Trinket Mage package. But after talking to some people, they were telling me about how, you know, if you gifts for Hexmage, Nature Spiral, Grim Discovery, and Dark Depths, that guarantees that you get a Dark Depths and a Hexmage. If you gifts for Loam, Academy Ruins, which is hiding here, Thopter Foundry, and Sword of the Meek, you've gotten the that package also. So gifts, yeah, it's really gifts can get either package and set up, you know, either combo win.
So talk about some of the more common matchups for this deck. How do you fare against Zoo, which is obviously, I think, was job 1 for a deck at some point during playtesting that probably changed over to beating
Right. So the reason I started with this deck and what I really liked was that game 1, especially the kind of the Zoos from last season, which was what we started testing against, can't beat Thopter Foundry and Sword of the Meek. These two just, you're making 4 guys a turn, getting 4 life, you know, it doesn't matter if they have Jit, it doesn't really matter if they have Helixes, Tribal Flames, they're just, you know, they're just cold to it. And so that's kind of the nice part. And what people were nervous about, at least people were telling me I should be nervous about, was Ancient Grudge. And that's kind of where, and I think that with Ancient Grudge is kind of not a great matchup for this kind of deck, but the Dark Depths and the Hexmage makes that, you know, a little bit better. And in general, pre-board, it's pretty good. It's not as great as it could be. I think a big part of that is I have a lot of permission and card draw. I have 5 Duress effects, Spell Pierce.
Kind of a loose looking Spell Pierce over there.
Right. So the idea was that you could tutor for Thoughtseize. I mean, sorry, not tutor. Gifts Ungiven for Spell Pierce, Thoughtseize, and Duress, and have some disruption available. It turns out that the Spell Pierce generally is probably sided out. It's one of the most often sided out cards. So maybe it would be better serve as a different piece of, and you could get Muddle too to protect. So you could get 4 disruption pieces was the idea.
Right. Now, I heard someone making a suggestion that perhaps one of your Duresses or another card could become a Raven's Crime, and then you have sort of an additional sort of combo package in that you get to gifts for Life from the Loam, Raven's Crime.
Right, so there's a thought. You can do that. You can also include in the sideboard Worm Harvest as another way, so you can gifts for like some kind of combo like that. My problem with that is that really the Raven's Crime package is pretty mediocre without Urborg in play, and I only have 1 Urborg. So then it's making really narrow what I have to gifts for. Like, I'm really going all in on that plan, and I found against blue decks, just getting Academy Ruins, Loam, and the Artifact combo was enough. Without Riptide Lab these days, they can't stop you really from eventually sticking it, and unless they drew like a bunch of Goyfs early, you weren't going to face enough pressure. Most of the board is dedicated to Zoo, though, as it turns out, because we thought it would be popular. I wasn't 100% happy with the matchup. And so I think pre-board it was good because they often didn't have ways to deal with the combos. Post-board they have all these ways, so I bring in a man plan of Goyfs and Damnations and kind of more control elements, and then they have to deal with all kinds of situations.
They don't know what's going to happen.
They got to play around engineered explosives, Damnation, combo.
Have you juked anyone out? Have you like just sort of mised into the Dark Depths combo, like early game one, just win, and then someone thinks you're something that you're not?
Yeah. So it's happened actually a bunch of times. Earlier against Martyred, game one, you know, luck would have it, I draw my Dark Depths, I draw my Vampire Hexmage, and I kill him on like turn 3. And game 2, you know, he goes turn 2 Meddling Mage, name's Hexmage, and my hand's kind of slow, but it's got a lot of gifts and card draws, so I'm happy with it. I gifts for the sword package, and he just makes this, you know, saddest face ever. You know, you can just kind of tell like he didn't expect that. And then afterward, when we're de-sideboarding, I can see him taking cards out. He had condemns and, you know, spot removal for dudes, and he just wasn't prepared. And he'd taken out his O-rings, which, you know, can sometimes stop the combo or at least kill a piece. So, and I've had all kinds of, you know, I think I've played, every opponent I've played today has had basically pieces to disrupt that involve naming things, Pithing Needles, Meddling Mages, and multiple times they've named Dark Depths or Thopter Foundry, and I've either had the other half or just gone for the other half and, you know, killed them. I even had one of my rounds playing against Zoo. He went turn 1 Goblin Guide on the play, and he sees Tarmogoyf on top. And then so turn 2 has to go Meddling Mage Tarmogoyf, you know, and he's the Zoo deck, like that's great for me. I just go turn 2, Thopter Foundry, turn 3, Sword, and you know, that was that. So, I mean, I think that attacking from a bunch of angles, or at least threatening from a bunch of angles, kind of forces people to try to commit to something, and it's just going to be really costly to them to commit when they can't be sure of what I'm trying to do here. So
just switching gears for a second, when I did an interview with you, you said that you only started playing Magic a couple of years ago.
Right, so I mean, I played, I would say, competitive Magic, in the sense PTQs. I wasn't playing Magic at all kind of 5 years ago, but in elementary school I played a bit. And then I started playing PTQs, started playing drafts about 2 years ago in college, and I just got really into it. And there were there was, you know, 4 or 5 of us who just kind of all at the same time, a group of us, my friends, who just kind of all came in, and we were drafting 12, 15 times a week, you know, cube, everything, all formats. And
how does it feel to go in that very short period of time? You know, your first Pro Tour was this year in Kyoto. You've racked up 10 Pro Tour points so far. How has this whole experience been for you?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. I got to travel to Kyoto for free, you know, and I got to go to Honolulu after that, and now I'm in Austin, and I'm queued for Rome, and if I can find the time and money, then I'll certainly be there, and it's just like being able to, you know, and I really wanted to make the Pro Tour as soon as, you know, I found competitive Magic, and I think I've been really fortunate in a year and a half to have a really nice play group, to be I was situated in Northern California, which has a huge hub of great players who, at the very worst, are testing you at all PTQs and making sure that you're getting better, and so but you know, also drafting with you on the side after you've scrubbed out. So it's been great, and you know, and it's been kind of fast, but it's been kind of fun. My last year of college was spent, you know, basically playing the Pro Tour, and couldn't have been a better year of college.
Awesome. Well, I wish you all the best of luck the rest of the way in this tournament. Hopefully you'll do
well enough
to ensure that you go to Rome.
Yes, that would be...
maybe thrust yourself into the Rookie of the Year race.
Yeah, I mean, all it needs is a Pro Tour win and a GP win. It's only been done twice in the last 12 months, so why not a third time? It's basically a lock, I think. So, right?
All right, well, thank you very much, Lucas. This is Brian David Marshall signing off for Lucas Siow from the Tournament Center in Pro Tour Austin.